Welcome everybody to the TCAA show. I am your commish Bromy. Welcome everyone. We had one heck of an exciting week too. Got a lot to go over. We had a lot of upsets again. Number one went down. No one will survive. Ain't that correct? And it's going to be interesting with who the new number one is and who they're facing because it's setting a trend for all of our number one ranked teams and who their opponents are. So let's go ahead and jump right to it. Let's get into how last week's results happened for the top 10. We will first start with our game of the week last week, which was the then number two Copper Mountain Community College going up against the then number 9 Presbyterian Blue Hose. And in that matchup, if my screen would cooperate, Copper Mountain did uh, withstand Presbyterian's early run on them, putting it to them, and then Copper Mountain was able to come through at the end and be victorious. I'm just trying to pull up everything from the recap here. This would cooperate. Live television here. Get my where do you go? Come on, too far down. Um, let's sit here and we'll filibuster in the meantime. So number two, Copper Mountain was victorious, defeating number 9 Presbyterian Blue Hose in our game of the week last week, and we will go ahead and pull down their scores here so we can get some statistics of how that went when my computer and everything decides to cooperate for us. Got too many windows open, I guess, going right now. So in the meantime, we'll take a quick look behind us here, and I'm not gonna lie to you, the Boston Red Sox uniforms they got going on right now, ugly as hell, ugly. And why the hell are they wearing yellow and blue? I don't know. It disgusting. That's all I gotta say. Just disgusting. Anywho, I think my computer is finally loading itself up correctly here, so we can talk some ball game here. All right, eventually get to it. Keep on filibustering. Gotta love the live TV or live show, live podcast, whatever you want to call it, where nothing wants to cooperate right when it's supposed to. All right, here we go. All right, so Copper Mountain was victorious 147 to 131. Um, Lamar Jackson going crazy in that Sunday night game, 33 points. You got Christian McCaffrey helped him out with 22 points there. Presbyterian, they also had Christian McCaffrey going as well. They both had DeAndre Hopkins. Baker Mayfield with just 16 and Nick Chubb with just 16. So that loss was by 16 points there for Copper Mountain. So let's see here. Go ahead and see. Let's see what could have happened. Presbyterian could have scored 158 points, but if they would have started Derek Carr and at least probably one or two other options there. I do not like when it gives that. It only gives you one player when obviously there could have been a lot more players because David Carr wouldn't have been enough in that scenario there. But it is a win there for Copper Mountain over Presbyterian Blue Hose, 147 to 131. All right, let's run down the rest of our top 10 from last week. Let's see who we can find next. All right. Next one was the then number 1 Adams College Adams going up against Quack Attack. They were on the road. Quack Attack last week was ranked last in the TCAA. And just like it went down the week prior, the number 1 goes down to the worst ranked school in the league. 149 to 133. Adams College loses. There are 76,000 faithful fans at Duck Commander Stadium, according to my report here, for Quack Attack in that upset victory over Adams College. 149 to 133 for Quack Attack. Russell Wilson, 24. Ezekiel Elliott finally got himself going with 16 points. Gronk getting 2 more touchdowns out there, 15. TJ Hawkinson right there was with his 15 coming big in that Monday night game, helping out the Quack Attack right there. For Adams, he had Russell Wilson as well going, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce with 20, but ended up just not being enough. Quack Attack just too strong for him. Too strong there for Adams College Adams. So they did lose the number 1 ranking for sure. And we'll have to see what happened to Adams College and where they fell in the ranking. And like I said, a little spoiler alert, the new number 1, facing the new number 36. Spoiler. All right. Let's go and find some more here. All right. The then number 4 FACU2 University was on the road up against Terry Tate's Pain Train. And this was another one of those really lopsided ranking ones here because Terry Tate was ranked 33rd at the time. And in this one, they did pull up the upset over number 4 FACU at home. Terrible time for all these ranked teams on the road here. So Terry Tate victorious 153 to 117. Aaron Rodgers definitely making up for the game that he had week before with those negative points, dropping 31 points down. He had Mike Evans with 22, Tyler Lockett with 27. On the losing side there, Patrick Mahomes with his 29, Brandon Cooks 18, but just didn't get enough out of his running game there, and the defense really didn't help him out here either at all. And it looks like, from the looks of it, he didn't have a defensive tackle in his lineup either. I don't think that would have really been too big of a difference, too big of a gap in the loss there. Just not enough offensive power there, unfortunately, there for FACU. Let's see what happens to them on their rankings right after this. All right, next matchup we had with some ranked teams. We had then number 10 Duquesne University going on the road against Brock State University, and they were victorious. One of the first ranked schools there to win on the road. Duquesne U 137, Brock State just an embarrassing 84 points. I believe that so far might be the lowest points we've seen scored so far this season, but it's only 2 weeks in. Plenty of time for something else to be bad. For Duquesne U, 36 points out of Kyler Murray, just went crazy. He had 20 from Travis Kelce, 13 from CeeDee Lamb, 13 from Deebo Samuel, and also another 13 out of DeAndre Hopkins. For Brock State, Joe Burrow with 10 points. He had Justin Jefferson 15, but unfortunately Amari Cooper with 3, Jonathan Taylor with 5, which I think is another very low-scoring week there for Jonathan Taylor on that end there. So might need to make some adjustments there for Brock State and what they want to do in the future for themselves. And we'll be talking about Brock State in just a little bit. Like I said, we have a new number 1, and we also have a new number 36. All right, let's see who else we've got that was ranked last week. All right, you had number 5 ranked Louisiana University Knights going on the road facing Ball So Hard University. And once again, another ranked team loses while on the road. 63,000 faithful fans there at Thomas Brady Field as Ball So Hard pulls the upset over Louisiana University. Ball So Hard was the bubble school in our rankings, ranked 11th, so not too crazy of an upset. Ball So Hard actually kind of felt, if I remember correctly, a little bit slighted for not being ranked at that time after what they had done in the first week there, but definitely proved themselves this week 2 here, beating a ranked number 5 school. For Ball So Hard, Aaron Rodgers 31 points, Aaron Jones 38 points. It was the the Aaron brothers show there, that Monday night game, just is what caused the havoc there for Louisiana. Just wasn't the 2 players he needed to have going. He had Devontae Adams and he had Robert Tonyan going as well. Unfortunately, Aaron was interested more of getting Aaron some more points. Like I said, it was 177 to 151. On top of that, he also had Tyler Lockett there with 27 points. For Louisiana, 29 out of Patrick Mahomes, 16, like I said, from Devontae Adams, 12 out of Robert Tonyan there. He did get a lot of points out of his defense, 23 out of linebacker Bobby Wagner, but it just wasn't enough. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones just went crazy. So fortunately there, Louisiana losing after being ranked number 5. All right. Next matchup here on the ranked schools. We had, there they are. What we got? All righty. We had then ranked number 6 University of Thugonomics at home, and they were victorious, holding off Delta Tau Chi Favorite College Chapter 136 to 131. It was a very close one there. Thugonomics actually lucked out with Josh Jacobs being a scratch for Delta and didn't get him replaced in, so there was 0 points in that factor, and that probably would have made the big difference there for sure if there was someone else in Josh Jacobs' spot. But the Thugonomics were able to withstand and hold on to for the victory. 24 out of Russell Wilson, 22 out of Mike Evans, 20 out of Travis Kelce, 13 from Deebo Samuel. For the Delta Tau, he had 31 out of Aaron Rodgers, 22 Mike Evans. They both had going as well. 16 out of Zeke, 15 out of Gronk. But just not enough. That missing player getting scratched before the game started cost Delta there from getting their first victory of the season. All right. Next matchup we had. Keep going. We had then number 8 Vestal Tech at home taking on, remember, the Titans University, and this was won by Vestal Tech at home at Mary Knox, 147-87. Now I just said how we had the low score of. Let me pull back up. We had a 90 in there. Where'd it go? 84. So I still think. Nope. Remember, Titans almost had the low score of the week. But Vestal Tech victorious, 147-87 for Vestal. He had 29 from Mahomes, 22 from Evans, pretty much rattling off the same numbers of players here. Unfortunately for a member of the Titans, Jameis Winston went back to his normal routine, only scoring 3 points. Alvin Kamara still hasn't gotten anything cooking yet. He only had 5 points. DeAndre Swift didn't have the game that he had the week prior, just 9 points as well. So a tough loss there for, remember, the Titans as they drop now to 0-2. All right. Next matchup on the docket here from the ranked schools. We had number 7 Land Thieves at home going up against Crenshaw University. Land Thieves was victorious 163-103. For Land Thieves, let's see, he had Russell Wilson at his 24, Najee Harris at 16, Chris Carson at 15, Mike Evans in there, Kelsey in there as well. For Crenshaw, he had 18 coming from Jalen Hurts, 12 from Damian Harris, 13 from CeeDee Lamb. Just not enough firepower there, as there was a lot of. Land Thieves even had some double digits, almost 20 points from 2 defensive players as well. When you can get close to 20 points out of your defensive players, you're going to have one hell of a week. And so Land Thieves was able to pull off that victory at home. All right, next one we have here. We had number 3 Samuel Jackson University going on the road up against Upper Sandusky. And in this one, Samurai was victorious 160-102. Let's see for Samurai who they have anything different. They have Mahomes at 29, Aaron Jones 38, Devontae Adams 16, Diggs at 14, Hockenson 15, Jefferson 15. For Upper Sandusky, Teddy Bridgewater with a nice 22 points. He also had Devontae Adams in there. He had Andre Hopkins in there. But everybody else pretty much scoring under 10 points, and that's just not going to do it enough in this league here. You're not going to really win with 102 points there. So unfortunately for Upper Sandusky, another loss for them. So they dropped down to 0-2. Samurai bouncing back from the first loss of the season in week 1. We're able to match the record back up to 1-1. All right, next matchup we have. Let's see, we already talked about Copper and Presbyterian. Anybody else here that was ranked? Nope, that was all of the ranked schools from last week. All right, let me check my thing here. Do I have any comments anywhere? No comments anywhere. All right, let's keep it cruising, guys. All right, so the rankings are up. They should be on the page. We'll go over those here and make sure that they are loaded up correctly. They're definitely loaded up for the schools. Who is your new top 10? And like I said, we do have a new number 1 school. And it is congratulations to for Mount Community College. They are now number 1. They had a unanimous decision there. Everyone in the coaches poll voted them number 1. So they had fully number 1 overall there. Your new number 2, moving up 5 spots, is Land Thieves. They are now your number 2 school in TCAA going into week 3. Number 3, moving up 7 spots, is Duquesne University. Jumping over the now number 4, who dropped down a slot, Samurai Jackson University, after that victory. I'm sure Samurai is going to love that little problem there, mistake. Coach's poll, who knows what the hell was going on there for them. So unfortunately there for Samurai Jackson, they win, but they also lose in the positioning on the rankings. New school coming into the top 10 here. You have at number 5, moving up 6 spots, Ball So Hard University, after having that victory last week against the then number 4 school. So good, moving into the top 10 there. The next school moving into the top 10, moving up 10 spots after their victory, University of Kentucky Bourbon Ballers coming in. A lot of chatter going on earlier today, I believe, or last night. I can't remember which day it was. They kind of all melt together sometimes. A lot of these schools were just talking about how they feel the rankings are going and whatnot. And boom, here you are. 2 new schools jumping into our top 10. All right, number 7, moving up one spot after their victory, Vestal Tech Community College. They are now your new number 7, coming up from 8, dropping down 7 slots after that loss last week to the worst school in the in the league at that time, Adams College, dropping from 1 all the way down to 8. University of Thugonomics, after their victory, dropping 3 slots down to 9. Um, what the hell, right? I'm going to speak here for a second. How the hell do I win and I drop? Yeah, I'm looking at all of you right now in my camera, all you coaches who are in this poll. What the shit? All right, that's enough of that. Anywho, whatever. I dropped spots. I was actually tied with Adams College. Both schools getting 9.3 overall ranking. Adams College gets that little tiebreaker there for being the higher ranked school at that time. Not going to really worry about too much on those tiebreakers at that moment there because of the records, both 1-1. I'm sure Adams College also has the better points and stuff like that, but whatever at this time, who cares? Thugonomics, ranked 9, so it works for us. And noon, a number, let's talk about this, right? So if you've been with us before, you've listened to this show a couple of times before, you've heard it probably during the preseason show, you've heard us in a couple of the rankings of the show. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you would have told me after 2 weeks, this school that I'm about to tell you is in our top 10, I would say, bullshit. I'd lose all the money I'd bet. Impossible. Not going to happen. But I'm staring at it right now. On my screen, the coaches have spoken. Delta Phi Gamma is ranked number 10. Think about that for a second. This was a school that was ran horribly, just horribly. We're talking a roster of like 15 players total. Nobody on the team, no kickers, no defense, nothing. Just dismantled. That president gets kicked out of the league for just being a shithead, pretty much. Delta Phi Gamma, Luke Dwight out of ACC says, you know what? I've enjoyed my time in the ACC. I've won a title here. Let me go ahead and build a project. Let me get to this thing. It'll probably be a couple years for this rebuild here. But no. Already ranked. Now, will that be the way this ends the end of the season? I want to say no, but I'm already shocked that he's in the rankings. So if you haven't been paying attention, that's now 4 schools of the Pac-6 currently in the top 10 as we enter week 3. And if you would have told me one of those schools was Delta Phi Gamma, I would have said, hell no, no way, not happening. But here we are. The coaches have spoken that are in the coaches' rankings. Delta Phi Gamma 2-0, well deserving. So just an all-out great job right now by the president there, President Luke of Delta Phi Gamma. So big props to him. Just an incredible job. We can look back to see who they've beaten and stuff like that. But either way, fantastic. Number 10, Delta Phi Gamma. Can they keep that run going? So added to your top 10, you have Balsahard University, Delta Phi Gamma, University of Kentucky Bourbon Ballers. Dropping out of the top 10, Fock U2 University, Louisiana University Knights, and Presbyterian Blue Hose. Now, the rest of the rankings there, you can take a look there. Louisiana dropping down that 6 slots. They are now the new bubble school. They did receive 2 votes in the top 10, but just not enough. They actually tied with Allen Wrench Trade School there at 11 as well. We had a lot of schools really close to each other. We had one a little bit further down. There's I think 3 schools that all tied at the same ranking. But Louisiana sitting there dropping 6 slots when they dropped out. The biggest drop was Fock U dropping all the way. Let's see, they had 11. Crenshaw actually dropped 12, dropped 10. I know there's a lot of discussions in the rankings of kind of what's going to, how does it all work and stuff like that. And I've even talked to a couple of the other coaches polls, like privately and stuff like that, just like how rankings and stuff like that go, because they're always wondering, am I doing it right? Am I doing it this way? Should I be doing it this way? For the most part, we all pretty much will have very, very similar rankings. Every now and then there's a few what the hells and whatnot. Nothing you can do, right? Human element in this process, in this procedure when it comes to the coaches poll. I am always trying to figure out the right and the proper formula possibly to get away from the human element. and just let the numbers speak for themselves. But I really do enjoy this factor of it. I do wish I can get more coaches to do it, but it is what it is. I do understand that it is it's a tall task to ask for someone to rank 35 schools. So I'm not that completely upset that I don't get a lot of you guys doing it, but I also enjoy the way this goes too. But I am always tinkering around with formulas and stuff like that to see what could work better for our league overall in the grand scheme of things. But anywho, so there is your full rankings all the way down. You got Louisiana, Allen Wrench, SCLSU, Northern University, FACU, Presbyterian, Philly U, moving up 9 slots to 17, which is probably one of their highest rankings they've had. They've also had a very hard track time in the league here, but they are starting to get their climbing. So Grimes State University, South Texas Raiders, Terry Tate, Telford at 21, DBAP. Here's where the three schools that all tied up. You had DBAP University, Jefferson Community College, and Quack Tech all tied up in the rankings there. So they got 22, 23, and 24. Crenshaw University, Harrison, Volunteers, Delta Tau Chi, Gondor University, remember the Titans. Greenville, Upper Sandusky staying in their slot at 32. You had Dallas Spurs 33, Chicago Outfit 34, Brock State University 35, and then Dynasty 36. All right, looking at that, I misspoke. It's not the worst team going up against number one, but we're going to be talking about these matchups here in just a second. Let me go ahead and scroll down, and we will go ahead and make sure. Let me check if there's any comments or anything going on in my chatting. We've got no comments, no. Keep it moving here. All right. Let's do the preview of our ranked schools and for it to load. So the game of the week is going to be the only matchup between ranked teams, but it's a good matchup. We've got new number 5, Ball So Hard University, going on the road to Switzer Field, facing number 2 Land Thieves. Battle of 2-0 schools. So for Ball So Hard, currently the way the rosters are showing themselves, you got Aaron Rodgers, Zeke Elliott, Aaron Jones, AJ Brown, Tyler Lockett, Darren Waller. For Land Thieves, Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, Najee Harris, Keenan Allen, Marquise Brown, and Travis Kelce. Right now, Ball So Hard is favored by 3 points. You add in the home field advantage that Land Thieves get, 3 points. At this moment, these two are neck and neck, a little stalemate, little deadlock here. For the history of these two schools facing each other, Ball So Hard University is 0-2 all time against Land Thieves. There would be no better opportunity now for Ball So Hard and for Tim to get that first victory over Land Thieves by getting a nice win over the number 2 school in TCAA. All right, next matchup. You've got Greenville Green Devils. They're on the road going up against number 8 Adams College Adams. For Greenville right now, showing Aaron Rodgers, Dalvin Cook, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Debo Samuel, and Logan Thomas. For Adams College, you got Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, AJ Brown, Marquise Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, and Travis Kelce. All right. This is the first matchup between these two schools. Amazingly enough, because Adams College is the school that was taken over in the ACC, so it's pretty interesting that those never really crossed their paths, even though they took over a school. But that's what happens sometimes in the scheduling. All right. Next matchup, you have number 7, Vessel Tech Community College, going on the road facing the 0-2 University of Dallas Spurs. For Vessel Tech, you got Mahomes, Calvin Cook, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, and Dallas Goedert. For the Dallas Spurs, you got Big Ben Roethlisberger, Zeke Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, Eric Ebron going there. Now, Zeke Elliott can really get his things going. That could be very dangerous there. Maybe Dallas might be able to get off that schneid, maybe pull an upset here. Big Ben hasn't really been that exciting so far this season, but it is early. Right now, Vessel Tech is favored by 9 points. These schools have also never faced each other in overall history of the league. Once again, another weird way of doing things. Just Dallas Spurs have been in the league a couple of years now, but that franchise in general has been from the beginning, and just them never facing each other, just the way sometimes scheduling works again. All right. Next matchup, you've got Terry Tate's Pain Train going on the road against the new number 3, 2-0 Dukem U. For Terry Tate, Aaron Rodgers, Chris Carson, Antonio Gibson, Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, and George Kittle. For Dukem U, you got Kyler Murray, Chris Carson, DeAndre Hopkins, CeeDee Lamb, and Debo Samuel, and Travis Kelce. Right now, Dukem is favored by 12 points. History between these two schools, you have Terry Tate is 0-2 against Dukem University. So what better chance to get that first win again here, knocking off the number 3 school in Dukem U. So good luck there to those two. All right. Now, I was saying how the number one school is going to be facing the worst school in the TCAA this coming up this week, but it's not entirely that way. It's the second to worst school currently in the TCAA in Brock State University, going on the road facing the new number one Copper Mountain Community College. They're 0-2, 2-0. So for Brock State, you got Joe Burrow, David Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor, Amari Cooper, and Justin Jefferson, and Mike Gesicki. For Copper Mountain, Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Hopkins, Cal Ridley, and Rob Gronkowski. Can Gronkowski continue getting those 2 touchdowns a week? I don't know, but it's daring me to start him, and I know if that happens, that's when he won't catch a damn thing. This is the first time on these schools facing each other as well in the history of the TCAA. Right now, Copper Mountain is favored by 36 points. So Brock State's going to have to do something to even attempt to make this a game. All right, next matchup. Keep on scrolling, keep on scrolling. Let's see here. Nothing. Keep going. All right, here we are. All right. New number 10, Delta Fu Gamma, on the road facing DBAP University at Jazz Food Stadium. DBAP is 1-1. For Delta Fu, you got Kyler Murray, Daryl Henderson, DeAndre Swift, Jamar Chase, who has been just outstanding so far as a rookie this season, Cortland Sutton, and Tyler Higbee. For DBAP U, you got Aaron Rodgers, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, and Kyle Pitts. Rookie there. Right now, DBAP is favored by 20 points. This is the first time these two schools are facing each other in the history as well. So good luck there to Delta Fu. Can they keep that winning streak going and just so far the magical season for Delta Fu? Can they keep that up? All right, next one. All right, you've got number 9, University of Thugonomics, going on the road facing the Volunteers. For the Thugonomics, you got Lamar Jackson, Melvin Gordon, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, Rob Gronkowski currently in there. Does he continue going with the 2 touchdowns a week? Travis Kelce. For Volunteers, you got rookie Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't really been all that spectacular yet this season. You got Aaron Jones, who did really good last week. Joe Mixon had a good week last week. A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, who just didn't do jack last week. And then Zach Ertz. And right now, the Thugonomics are favored by 24 points. In the history of these two schools, they are tied 1-1 overall. All right. Next. All right. Next matchup, you have Quack Attack after that huge upset last week over the then number 1 Adams College. Adams, they are now on the road going to face number 6, 2-0 University of Kentucky Bourbon Ballers. For a Quack Attack, you got Russell Wilson, Zeke Elliott, Mecole Hardman, T. Higgins, Rob Gronkowski, and T.J. Hawkinson. For the Bourbon Ballers, you've got the GOAT himself, Tom Brady, who is just throwing up points left and right. Will it ever end? Who knows? But you got Tom Brady going. No reason. I don't even know who is on his bench for quarterbacks, but there's 0 reasons probably not to start Tom Brady right now, just with what he's been doing so far in just 2 weeks, throwing I think 9 touchdowns, 0 picks. So you got to keep going with that. Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry finally getting off the schneid there last week and getting some points in. Keenan Allen, Scary Terry McLaurin, and then you got Travis Kelce. Right now, Kentucky is favored by 23 points. And this is the first time these two schools are facing each other, as Kentucky is a brand new school in a brand new conference. All right. And this is the last matchup of ranked schools. You got number 4, Samurai Jackson University, on the road facing Presbyterian Blue Hose, who just dropped out of the top 10. Samurai dropping down a spot after having a victory, so I'm sure they're going to be proving some stuff this week. And then you never want to be on the other end of Samurai Jackson when they're mad. For Samurai, you got Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson. For Presbyterian, you got Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, McCaffrey, DeAndre Hopkins, and Justin Jefferson as well, along with Janu Smith. Currently, Samurai is favored by 10 points. Overall, in their history, Samurai Jackson is 2-1 overall against Presbyterian. So good reason there for Presbyterian to even that up and score themselves a nice upset and possibly get themselves back into the top 10. So that is your preview of week 3. We're not going to do anything special this week. We're going to go ahead and we're going to save recruiting for next week because I think I saw that the buys start in week 5. So we're going to do recruiting next week in week 4. And then in week 5 is where we're going to do we're going to assign our, no, after week 5, we'll be assigning blue shirts. But then week 5, we're going to do our walk on again. So week 4, so nothing this week again. Next week, we're going to do some other stuff. Is when we'll get in our next recruiting. And then the week after that, we'll do our next walk ons. And then after that, we'll do some blue shirt assignments when you guys can, anybody who's eligible, you can go ahead and get that going as well. So, check, make sure I got no comments, no questions real quick. What we got? Anything going on? No comments, no nothing. All right. Well, we hit the 31 mark, so I'm getting really good at keeping this up to the 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, just come and holler at me. If not, we'll see you all later. Everyone have a good week 3, and we'll catch you all later. Have a good one.